The A18 Pro chipset expected in the iPhone 16 Pro could be slightly more powerful than the A17 Pro. At this point, the expectation is that any new chip Apple releases with its latest phones will be better than the highest spec Android alternative. But for the first time in a long time, that might not be the case this year. According to Nguyen Phi Hung, who published an article on will only be 10% faster than the A17 Pro, which equips the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This doesn't seem like a particularly significant improvement, and while we take this claim with a grain of salt, especially since this is a new leak that doesn't have much of a track record yet, it is in line with another recent leak. The other day we heard that the upcoming Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chipset, which is expected to power next year's best Android phones, like the Samsung Galaxy S25, could be more powerful than the A18 Pro. According to this report, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 can achieve a single-core Geekbench result of around 3,500, compared to around 3,300 for the A18 Pro. However, there are some important caveats to keep in mind. First of all, the Snapdragon's Geekbench result was obtained with a clock speed of 4.3 GHz, which would likely require more power consumption than is viable on a smartphone. So we are skeptical about the actual capability of the chipset. Besides, regardless of whether the A18 Pro is more powerful than the Snapdragon or not, and whether it's an improvement in terms of pure power over the A17 Pro, it could at least benefit from a major improvement in artificial intelligence. We've already heard that the A18 Pro could have many more cores in its neural engine, dedicated to AI and machine learning tasks, than the A17 Pro. So while it's not much faster at running games and the like, the A18 Pro might at least be able to handle various AI tasks that aren't available on current iPhones. However, the Google Pixel 8 and Samsung Galaxy S24 already have significant AI capabilities, so Apple needs to catch up in this area. If it doesn't surpass what Samsung and Google have already achieved here, and if it can't compete in power with the next big Snapdragon chipset, then the A18 Pro could be a disappointment. With the iPhone 16 not expected until September, it's still early for leaks. So let's hope that in the months to come, we will have much more promising news on the chipset that equips these phones. A potential setback to put into perspective, because other information shared in January this time placed the Apple A18 Pro ahead of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, this time in single-core computing. This possible timid progress in multi-core could finally come from a conscious arbitration by Apple, which would seek to favor this year the autonomy of its iPhone 16 Pro instead of their raw computing power. An avenue that is all the more interesting to take into account, as certain rumors mention the integration of larger batteries, particularly on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Who knows, maybe this year Apple's objective would be, finally, to pass the milestone of 1 day of autonomy to which its current iPhones are limited in the majority of cases. So share your thoughts and insights in the comments section, and stay tuned for further updates. Until next time, peace out.